All right. Well, Conrad, obviously we know that, Spain got hit pretty hard with this coronavirus pandemic. So just what's it for you, and have you established a routine that kind of feels a bit normal now yet?
Um, it doesn't feel normal, but I'm starting to get used to it. So not being able to get out of the house is hard, especially for like training and stuff. So I have the physical trainers of Barca send me every day my workouts, and I have a lot of equipment that I do. So like gym equipment that I have in my house, and I just work out every day.
And when this all started happening, of course, it was a shock to kind of everyone, and everyone was trying to. How did you deal with it? Did you think it was going to be as massive as it really is now?
When we first heard about it, the doctors at Barcelona had warned us that it was going to be pretty bad. So based on what he said, it's very similar to what's actually going on right now. So it wasn't that surprising, but I would have wanted it to be shorter at the same time,
Is it what's the part that you found you had to struggle with the most? Because I know, of course, a lot of players say that they can do all the exercise in the world, but just to stay match fit is like another story.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get if you're not out there actually playing.
Yes, yeah. For me, it's definitely like on the field with the ball, shooting, dribbling. That's like what I miss the most.
What about you? Don't take on, get your mom or dad involved?
No.
Sounds like you might have thought of it though. But what about in
Yes.
terms of workouts? We've seen like players like Jesse Lingard. He's been using this like Zoom to get players, his other teammates involved. They work out together. Nice little, friendly rivalry. Have you been able to do that, with any teammates?
No, actually no, but I've thought about doing it. But I train in the afternoons, and my teammates often train in the morning. So just on the schedule, it doesn't like match up well.
Mm, fair enough. I suppose it helps add a little rivalry. That's a little competition you could have, a little push-up competition there.
Yes.
Have you
Yes.
participated in any of the challenges that go on in social media? Like the 20 challenge and all of that?
I haven't done the Nike challenge yet. But I have done one other challenge. I don't remember which one it was right now, but you know how there's like a lot of those Instagram story challenges or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have two of those. I don't remember which one exactly right now.
I figured as much. Well, then let's before we get into your life, obviously at Barcelona, I wanted to talk about, you kind of hinted at it just when we were talking a little bit before that, it's kind of interesting to see someone who's American and then over here or over there in Spain and playing for Barcelona, even though it's not been done before. But just how did you start out in football?
I started playing when I was 4 years old, I think, or 5, in a pretty much brand new like indoor place in Miami, and from there I started to like it, and I got good. So,
actually, brush your shoulders off.
I don't know. It just led up to this moment right now.
And when did you know that this is it? This is something I want to be. I want to be right up there playing with Lionel Messi one day.
I was like 6 years old probably, and then
Bold decision.
I was 6, and I wanted to be like Ronaldinho, so so I was like, yeah, I need to play for Barcelona, and and I don't know, eventually it happened.
The rest is history. I mean, you moved to Spain when you were 10.
Yes.
And then did you kind of see that as, this is it, this is my chance? Did you just get straight into football when you took over there? Because that, I'd imagine, was a whole different world from football in the States to literally going to a hotbed of football culture.
Yeah. Yes. I definitely thought of that. I was super focused and not anxious, but motivated.
And did you find the level of football when you got there? Because like you said, you were playing in the States and you got really good. Clearly, you knew you were good. But when you got to Spain, did you find that the level was different? Did you kind of sit back and say, "Phew"? I need to up my game here.
Not the. I didn't feel like the level was different. I just felt the mentality was different. So he really took it a lot more serious in trainings, and like they prepared everything a lot better for games, and it was a lot more focused on like winning and like getting to the next level. Whereas in the States, it's not. Well, not in the States, but like in Miami, because that's where I know, it's not like that because there isn't a team in Miami. Well, at the time, to like push yourself to make it. Whereas here, like everyone like pushing themselves to make it to go to Barcelona or to go to wherever. So that's the difference.
Do you feel like, at least now looking back in the States, now that there is a team, Inter Miami FC and David Beckham taking it there, do you think that that's changed, or how the sport is at least viewed in the States? Do you think it's changed for the better?
Yeah, I think that with a lot more young players playing in Europe, a lot of the other younger players now see that it's possible. So they are working harder and like a lot more into soccer than before because they know that they can make it if they actually do work hard and if they get the opportunity.
And then, we just mentioned like a couple of big name US players, like you said, Tim Howard, Clint Dempsey, Landon Donovan. But now there's, I feel like there's a bit more as well. Just the other day we spoke to DeAndre Yedlin, who's at Newcastle. You have Christian Pulisic here at Chelsea. You have Josh Sargent over in Germany. And he's not American, but Canadian, and Alphonso Davies at Bayern. And it's just it feels like it's an exciting time for North American players. Do you think, especially how, knowing that you are, right at Barcelona, do you think that now the world is kind of respecting players from the US and Canada as opposed to just saying, oh, you're American, what do you know about football?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think that the more players that come play in Europe, the better it is for the country and obviously the continent of North America. But talking about the United States, it's a lot better. I hope it continues to grow.
Did you feel like when you got to Spain, did you feel like you had to, and started playing for Barcelona, did you ever feel that you had to kind of work twice as hard or kind of prove yourself more than, say, some of the other players that were from more soccer playing countries?
Not necessarily. I just always have goals in mind on goals that I want to achieve. So I don't really focus on that part. So I just work hard to get to where I want to be, and I let the rest figure itself out.
That's a good way of looking at it then. And then, of course, you said that, you looked up to Ronaldinho, so it had to be Barcelona for you. Yeah. And what was day one in their academy like for you? Just take me back to that day, what you experienced and just how you felt, because that's massive.
The first day was preseason, and I was 12, I think. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I was 12. And we went to a preseason training camp, maybe an hour and a half away from the city. And we spent 3 days there. And it was 2 trainings a day and really intense. And it was a new training style and everything I was not used to. So it was all new to me. But I think I was excited because it was always my dream. And then right after the training camp, we went to a tournament in Japan. And I had a really good time. It was really good. A really good experience.
Did you feel like you just fit in right away?
Yeah. It was I don't know, I just felt really welcomed, and it was really good.
And then in terms of course, being in the academy and going up from 12 to where you are now, which isn't that far of a jump though, how much interaction did you have with the other players, like Ronaldinho's, like the Messis, the Iniestas that went through? Did you have any experiences with them, meeting them?
Not really. Now I see them pretty often because I'm with Barca B and the under-19s, so it's a very similar environment. But when I was younger, not really. I barely saw them, because we trained in the afternoon and they trained in the morning. But now, under-19s and higher train playing. Now we see them a lot more than before.
And tell me about, because we spoke to Alphonso Davies the other day, and he was saying when he first got to Bayern, and he had to introduce himself to Robin, and Robin kind of came up to him and was like, "Oh, hey, my name's Arjen Robin," and he was like, "Bro, I know who you are." You know, did you have any kind of interaction like that? You know, who did you first meet that was like, "Whoa, I'm here"?
The first person I actually complete that, like something similar happened to me, was Messi, but that was 3 years ago or 2 years ago. He was having an interview at La Masia. I was 16. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. So he was having an interview at La Masia, and I was there. And when the interview was over, I went to go take a picture with him. And as I'm walking up to him, I'm like with two of my other friends, and I'm like, "Oh, it's Messi." It's like, I'm like almost like shaking. And then and I asked him if I could take a picture, and he goes, "Yeah." And then I'm like, I have my phone in my hand, and then I'm looking down, and I see my hand like trembling like this. It was crazy. I never felt like that in my life before.
Do you still have that photo?
Yes, I do.
Oh, fine. We're gonna ask you for that photo then for sure. That must have been amazing. But now you said you tend to see them more often. You know, is it still just special every time you see you in action, or are you kind of getting a little used to it?
No, I it's not that I'm used to it, but like I still get like a little starstruck.
That you're
But like not that much, definitely, because the first time I came with the first team, when I came with them, I got into the locker room, and I turned like to go into it, and the first person as I'm turning, I run into someone, and then I look and I see it's Messi. And like I say hi to him, like I shake his hand and everything. And then like as I walk past him, I'm like, "Oh my god, I just had Messi," like that. Like but that was just like that moment, and that's it. And then like it was just normal.
And then, I mean, you've said that, of course, now you're on Barca B, and that's just one huge step closer to probably getting into that first team. I know we did a chat with Manchester United just the other day, speaking about just how hard it is to get players from the academy straight through to the first team. And they literally said to them, it's like gold dust. Like it doesn't happen often. For you, based on your experience, how hard is it? Like, how hard do you have to work before you feel like you could be right up there with Lionel Messi?
Yeah, you feel like you have to be really, 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 really well prepared, because that's like it's not like it is the best team in the world. He's the best player in the world, and probably like ever. So knowing that if you go to the first team, you're gonna be playing with him, you feel like you need to be like extra, to fit in, So that's like the hard part. But I like the challenge, so it doesn't bother me.
So do you not feel any slight pressure at all? Because I think, of course, you look at Lionel Messi, you look at like Iniesta and whatnot, so many of them that came from La Masia, but then in recent times, there's not been as much. And reading some headlines, it seems like there's quite a bit on your shoulders. And it's almost like it kind of makes people, get excited, but they're so curious as well, because they're like, first of all, to get someone from the academy and come to the first team is hard, but then bro, he's American. Like, do you feel any pressure at all?
I don't really feel pressure, but it's definitely something that I want to do. So I push myself really hard so it can happen, but I don't really feel any pressure for it to happen. It'll on its own, it will get there. I'm not gonna like overdo anything, or like it's just naturally, it's gonna happen. Like just working hard and like staying focused and taking it one day at a time, and eventually, hopefully, it happens.
What would it mean to you, and you think probably those back home in the USA, to eventually see you suit up in that first team in a starting 11, going out there and playing for Barcelona?
Oh, it'll be incredible. Like everyone back in the States will like see that it's possible. That if you actually work hard and you're confident in yourself, and you take your opportunities, then you can reach whatever goals you set yourself with, and that's hopefully what happens.
Like I said, just speaking of La Masia, people are constantly looking to see who the next person will come. You know, if it could be another Messi or another Xavi or another Iniesta or somebody like that. What's with the current group of players that you've seen and played with, and now moving on to the Barca B team? How should we get excited about it? You know, are there some hidden talents there that you might want to give us on?
There's not going to be another Xavi, another Messi, or another Iniesta. I don't think there's ever going to be something like that. But not because they're not good enough to, just because everyone's just different. Mm-hmm. So there will be the first of another player, you know, not another one of someone that's already happened. Mm-hmm. So I used to look at it like that, and there's a lot of talented players in La Masia, and I know that there will be a lot more to come up to the first team in the years to come. So yeah, there is.
What's probably the most important thing or the best thing that you've learned from just being in La Masia straight up now? Where to start?
In terms of what like they've taught me, or what I've just like learned on my own from being there?
Yeah, what you've learned on your own from being there. That kind of stands out, that you feel kind of helped you get to where you are today.
You have to be really confident in yourself. Because there's a when you're in Barcelona, there's a lot of competition, not only like in the club, but like all over the world, obviously, because everyone wants to be there. And in my case, I go when I play for the national team as well. Like then, because I'm coming from Barcelona, when I go play for the national team, then everyone is all overly on top of me when I'm with the national team as well, because of where I'm coming from, you know. Mm-hmm. So just staying confident and like knowing what you're capable of doing, regardless if you're playing good or bad, is the most important thing, I think, because that will just continue to help you improve.
And switching focus now to the US men's national team, just what are your like hopes and ambitions there to make it on the senior team? Because like you said, it seems like it's a nice, exciting time for US soccer right now, with the likes of, you know, you coming through the ranks as well, Josh Sargent, as I said, and of course Christian Pulisic, who, you know, DeAndre Yedlin just said the other day he might be the best American player we've seen in a hot minute, if not ever.
Yeah, I think that my goal for the national team is to win a World Cup. That's my personal goal. I don't know, everyone has their own, but for me, it's to win a World Cup.
That's a bold ambition.
Yeah.
But you genuinely think it can happen?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. If we continue to grow in our clubs here in Europe, and I think we can do something special.
And then one of the things that we also ask kind of all the players, because we know players, whether it's clubs or for country, they tend to have some really interesting and fun WhatsApp groups. So I have to ask about your WhatsApp group with the US men's team. Like, what's that been like, especially now that everyone's kind of on lockdown?
Right now, actually, there isn't that much texting. Well, no. We're having challenges in our under 20 group chat. So we'll have like juggling challenges. Like we have different teams the coach set us up with, and we'll do like different challenges, and like the winning team makes points and stuff. So that's what we've actually been doing. Like not that much like joking around, just more like small competitions.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a good way to keep you busy. So who's been bossing those competitions? I'll be gutted if you say you've not been bossing them.
My team hasn't won yet. My team has not won, actually.
What was the last competition on?
Juggling. So each of us had to, you know, the juggling challenge. So like you make your like video of yourself juggling and you pass the ball in the air. And then someone else on your team like starts the video of the ball coming to them, and then they continue and they pass it to someone else. Like that. That was what the challenge was about, and my team didn't win.
And you guys not been winning, man.
Mm-mm.
Oh, We'll go, and I'll say some lucky prayers for you for the next one then. And then quickly, before we just wrap up, definitely have to talk about NBA because I hear you're a massive fan of that too. And I mean, what kind of American would you be? Who's your team? Who's your idol? What you predicting? Of course, once we get some basketball back.
My favorite player is LeBron James.
Oh,
he's my idol.
What's your team though?
Any team he's on.
So I was hoping you'd say the Heat. I was gonna ask you like what you felt after that.
No, I'm not a Heat fan. I'm just a LeBron James fan to probably the biggest one in the world.
Oh my goodness!
Like I think it's incredible. Like I play basketball, but like as a hobby, and I'm not that good at it. But like I don't know. It's incredible how much I like LeBron. Like I just like the way he plays. I like his work ethic, like how he's off the field, and like his ambition to continue to improve, even though like he's the best. It's incredidible, and I really like admire that. And although I'm not a basketball player, like I want to be like that. I don't know, like because in the soccer way, but like I want to be like that.
Wow, so, I think you kind of hinting that he's bigger than Messi for you there.
in that sense, yeah.
Fair enough. So when you make your debut for Barcelona's first team, you should send him an invite. Maybe come to us and we'll send the invite. We'll have ESPN send the invite to LeBron. And you can invite him to come see. You're an American playing for the first team in Barcelona when it happens. I think LeBron would come for that.
Yeah, hopefully. So yeah, right now I'm a Lakers fan.
Okay, so right now you're Lakers. So you were a Cleveland fan before too.
Yeah. So they'll win the championship this year.
What is loyalty? Oh God, Konrad, thanks so much for chatting with us, man. It was absolutely really, really good to catch up with you, and hopefully we'll see big things from you soon. And like I said, we'll get LeBron out to one of your games. I promise.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.